Hi, this is Melanie of Pardesi Reviews. I'm here to do a film review of the recent Malayalam film Uyare, which is playing on Netflix. If you're new to Pardesi Reviews, I do film reviews and trailer reactions of Malayalam, Tamil, Telugu, and Hindi cinema. I've had so many people recommending this film to me, and I missed it when it was in theaters here. It has some of my favorites. It has Parvathy, and it has Tovino, and then it also has Asif as the character Govind, and he was in the recent Virus that I saw this year, and he was very good in that as well. I know I had seen the trailer a long time ago, but I had kind of forgotten what this film was about. And just in my head, as I was flipping through, like, what new movies are on Netflix? What can I watch? I was thinking how many people have been telling me, you got to see this film, you got to see this film. So I just started watching it, not really looking up the backstory. I really didn't realize, oh, I just sat down to watch a movie about an acid attack victim. Now that could put people off, like, oh my gosh, that's so dark, that's such a downer. Why would you want to watch a film about that? Well, number one, Parvathy is awesome, but the title tells you everything. It's a survivor story about someone who has this horrible thing happen to them and really overcomes that and went places that were so uplifting. I was just so moved by the film, and it's so heartwarming. Highly recommend the film. So if you haven't seen it, I don't want to give into spoilers, but Govind, Parvathy's boyfriend, and she is studying to become a commercial airline pilot. So we see her whole backstory, which I thought just that, seeing a young girl having a flight when she's a kid and getting to see the cockpit and having this dream. Malayalam cinema, again, showing a woman's story, showing a girl's coming of age and reaching for this new career. That was awesome. So we see her do this, but she's got this boyfriend who's kind of emotionally clingy, doesn't really want her to go away for the training that she needs to go up to North India for. I'll get into a spoiler section on how the acid attack happened, but when the acid attack happens, then she can no longer be a pilot, and she meets Tovino, and he's someone that helps her along in her journey to find another way to work and to come back into society again. The framing device is that there's an emergency on an airplane and she's there, and so we hear whole the backstory, like, why are they afraid of her taking the controls? I thought it just had a perfect ending, perfect framing device. This is a debut director, Manu Ashokan, and he was an assistant director on Traffic. So the same screenwriters, that's the team, Bobby and Sanjay, they wrote Traffic, which was such a groundbreaking film. And so they were talking to this director about this story idea they had all the way back then. And he was really excited about making this and having such an uplifting story be his debut film. And there was only one actress that they wanted, and Parvathy, and she's absolutely perfect. I really like seeing Tovino in the role that he had. I like how he's, coming in not necessarily the star of something, but being willing to be a part of these other stories. I love that about him. And Asif is a very good actor, and here he's taking on a difficult role, shall we say. Kudos to him for taking a part like this as well. Okay, so now I'm just gonna tell you, you have to see this film. Get over the fact that it's so hard to see Parvathy in this, the makeup of after the acid attack. It's just such a good film. Okay, now I'm going to get into a spoiler discussion. This film really touched me because what Parvathy's character goes through is an emotionally abusive partner and someone who doesn't want her to succeed, wants to control her, wants to contain her, doesn't want her to go off and do her dream. And you see, what I loved about the film is the progression it showed from just a little bit, then I'm depressed and you didn't answer the phone, even though she's in the middle of class, and the threatening to commit suicide, like all of this emotional controlling and manipulation. And then it reaches that point where he has a fight with her in front of her friends because she's lying to him, like, yeah, I'm just going to bed, when she wants to be out celebrating with her fellow students. That confrontation, when she breaks it off and drops the engagement ring, and then he whips the acid out. Oh my God. I really thought that part of the script was so well done. This was not, they could have told a story about a random person doing an acid attack, right? But they didn't. It was a story of a man who was emotionally abusive and couldn't just let her go and live her life. I thought to myself, well, we don't really have a parallel to acid attacks in the US. That's not something that happens here. And what I learned later in reading about this is that it's really not that common in Kerala. It's more was seen as a North Indian problem, but is on the rise in prevalence. But I was thinking, well, what do we have? What we have is we have guns, and we have a lot of domestic abuse. Story of what happened leading up to the attack resonated with me so much because we had a story in our own family. My husband's cousin went missing in 2007, and our family believes that her husband, she was trying to get a divorce from, killed her, and we've never been able to find her body. So he's never been prosecuted because we've never found her body. But we believe that she's a murder victim. And I was the spokesperson for the family, and it's just, I don't understand these men that have to erase their partner because they're feeling this rejection. That is the most perilous time for a woman who is being emotionally abused. It doesn't even have to have had physical abuse up to that point, but that is the moment when you try to break off, that is, you are in the most danger. You have to have an escape plan and whatever. And in this film, Parvathy's character, she just, she was a strong woman. She finally had the strength to stand up to him, and then in an instant, her life changed. And it wasn't just that he disfigured her. I think she could have lived with that, but then the fact that her eyesight was affected to the point that she couldn't pass the pilot's medical light. Oh, gosh. Kudos to this director for telling this story and doing it so well. I liked what he said in an interview that I read, that he wanted to show another kind of beauty, another way of looking at beauty. He said, what matters is the person you are, and that is the beauty that lasts. Her inner beauty is what shines through. What an amazing performance by Parvathy too. I know she must have gone through hours of getting the makeup, prosthetics, and everything to make it look so realistic. I'm sure that wasn't easy to act with all of that on one side of her face, but wow, it was really amazing. So glad you all encouraged me to go ahead and see this film. I love that we're able to see films like this on Netflix, that it's bringing these films to the attention of a wider audience all around the world. Let me know what you thought about this film in the comments below. Follow me on Twitter at PardesiYT. Subscribe here to Pardesi Reviews, and if you hit the bell when you subscribe, then you'll never miss another trailer reaction or film review.